Today I'm going to show you how to fancy up a shirt. So in our last video, we went to a thrift store and bought a couple of items. Some of those items included a black long sleeved t-shirt that is right here on my mannequin, as you can see. And some sequin fabric, which I'm really excited about because I really do love sequins. I just kind of really like shiny things. I think a lot of people do, but this is going to make a really cute upgrade to this t-shirt. And I do want to let you know that you don't necessarily have to use sequined fabric. You can use any other kind of fabric of your choice, as long as there's a high contrast to the color and the texture of the shirt that you're using to attach the pocket to. That way it will really pop and give you that dramatic effect that you're looking for with your pocket. You're gonna also need straight pins, some good scissors, your machine threaded and ready to go with the thread that coordinates with the color of your shirt, as well as a pattern. And I'm gonna keep my pattern really, really simple. I'm choosing to use a sticky note. Yep, that's right. I'm not making this complicated at all. It's even measured for me already. This is a 4x4 sticky note, and I'm just gonna pin it to my fabric and cut it out. Let's get started. I'm putting my sticky note on the fabric. And I do have to say that even though I got this little top at the thrift store with every intention to cut it up and use it for a different purpose, I really like this tank top and it makes me sad to cut it up, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it anyway. So I'm gonna go ahead and place this down, and you'll see that I'm gonna go ahead and use one of the ends of the fabric that is already hemmed. So I'm gonna line up, that's less work for me. So I'm pinning it, and as I told you in a previous video, when we pin fabric, it's always very important to make sure that you're putting your pin on the outside. We're not gonna have to run this through the machine as it is, but just to get in the habit of properly pinning things, always make sure that the head of the pin is to the outside of the pattern. So I'm doing all my corners, and I really don't need the bottom two corners because like I said before, I'm lining it up with with an existing seam, but that's okay. All right, so here we go. I hate to cut this beautiful little top, but I'm doing it. All right, here we go. Cutting on sequins can be a little difficult. You'll see when you're cutting the fabric, you actually cut through the sequins and they pop all over the place. You probably should not use the best pair of scissors that you own to cut sequined fabric because it will dull your scissors. Yep, it's the equivalent of someone stealing your sewing scissors to cut Christmas wrap. Ugh, what a tragedy. But it happens, and then you have to get onto your children and your husband for taking your scissors. But then then you use them to cut sequins. So yeah, that's how it works. So now then I've cut out my little pocket here. Sticky note stuck. And I have a perfect little pocket that now I'm gonna attach to this shirt. So this is the shirt that was on my mannequin a moment ago. I went and put it on, and you can see there's a couple of things about this shirt I really like. First off, I like the long sleeves. They can be long sleeves, or you can pull them up and have quarter length sleeves, which is my favorite. And then also, I really like this little tulip cut here. And I'm gonna add my pocket now. The first step in adding the pocket is proper placement. So you're gonna wanna put on the shirt and then find the spot where you feel most comfortable with your pocket. I have attached the pocket where I want it to be on the shirt with a pin. So obviously it is not permanent at this point. Next, I will go remove the shirt, put on a different shirt, and then come back and we will sew the shirt, the pocket onto the shirt with the machine. What we need to do now is kind of focus on the pocket. I only had the pocket pinned on me just a moment ago, very loosely. So now I'm gonna put it, I'm gonna secure it a little bit better to the shirt so that when I insert it into the machine, it stays in place and it's not shifting around a lot. So I'm just gonna pin it in a couple of more spots so that I can be sure that it's secured. I'm gonna put it right in the middle. And then that way, I know that even if one of my pins fall out, that the other ones are gonna hold that pocket in the spot. So now too, you see there are some rough edges around this pocket that we kind of need to remedy. You don't want necessarily to be wearing it and you're dropping sequins or you know, or fraying around the edges depending what kind of fabric you use. So it will be important, especially on this this sequin fabric, that we turn it under and then sew it. So please look at this pocket, and I'm just gonna turn this is the top edge. Well, remember how I cut the fabric out a moment ago, and one of the edges was actually already on the bottom hem. So that's my top. That's the top of my pocket. So that was already done for me, and I don't have to turn that one. So I'm turning these all just a teensy little bit all the way down, and I'm gonna pin them in place. And these are the ones I'm gonna turn to the outside with the heads of the pin to the outside so that when I'm sewing, I can easily remove the pins. And you'll need to repeat that step for the other two edges. So I'm putting the shirt into the machine, and it's just very simple to do. You're gonna kind of insert it. I'm going through, you could go through the neck hole, but I feel like there's a little more room if you go through the bottom of the shirt. And that allows you to kind of twist it a little bit better and get around the entire perimeter of your pocket. But you're not really going around the whole perimeter, or I mean, I guess you could if you don't want the pocket to open, but I'm gonna want my pocket to open, and one of my pins came out. See, pins can come out. That's why you need more than one. But I just stuck it right back in there, so it's fine. I'm not gonna go around the top part of the pocket because clearly I want it to open. So here I am, I'm gonna start, I'm lining up the edge of that sequin with my presser foot so that I can keep my lines straight, and I'm gonna watch that, and the whole time I'm sewing I'm gonna keep an eye on that and make sure that it's straight and lined up so that my seam isn't all over the place. So here I go, get my little pin cushion where it's supposed to be, and just keep sewing and removing pins. It's okay to pull your foot up off the pedal so that you don't keep sewing, and you're gonna have to get to a point where you actually lift up the presser foot and turn, kind of rotate the shirt so that you can sew down the next edge. Put it down. Pull out the pockets. Keep going. And then this gets easier and easier to turn and stitch and turn and stitch as you get more comfortable with your skills, and you'll get there and it'll be very easy, and you'll just be turning stitches and sewing pockets all day long, and you won't even think twice about it. You'll be like just doing it. All right, we're almost done. Then I'm gonna back stitch so that I can make sure that the pocket is in place and the seam won't come out. And then I need to snip my little thread that is attached to my machine. And then the underside thread, which the underside thread on this one is white, but it doesn't really matter because nobody's gonna see it. And then I can remove all of the pins. And that pocket is attached. And I have a little bit of a thread hanging and I don't like it, so I'm gonna cut it off. All right. Okay, so the pocket is on and the shirt is finished. This is the finished shirt. We just attached this pocket and it is so fancy. I cannot wait to wear this out around town and be fancy in my super upcycled t-shirt, looking all snazzed up. And so I know you're gonna have a great time doing these t-shirts for yourself and maybe with your friends. I encourage you to just go to the thrift store, find some basic items to come home and cut up and practice your sewing skills. Happy sewing. I'm looking forward to my next video and I hope you'll watch it.